Here's a psychological fact you are absolutely not ready for. Right now, at this very second, you are being manipulated. Your boss, your partner, the marketers on your phone, and even your friends. You think your decisions are your own free choice? That is an illusion. Most of your thoughts were implanted in your head by someone who knows the rules of the game better than you. Psychologists call this the dark triad and social engineering. And when you understand these mechanisms, you will be horrified. You will see that for your entire life, you have been a pawn on someone else's chessboard. Your insecurity, your spending, your toxic relationships, these are not accidents. They are the result of an algorithm being used against you. But here is where it gets worse. Most people, when they learn this, get scared. They close the video because they want to stay in the warm bath of their ignorance. Here is the painful truth. The world is not divided into good and bad people. It is divided into those who manipulate and those who are manipulated. If you do not pick up the weapons of psychology to defend yourself, you become a target. And here is what nobody wants to admit. Deep down, you want this power too. You are tired of being the nice guy who gets used. In this video, we will dissect 5 forbidden tricks of dark psychology. We will peel back the skin of the human psyche and expose the raw nerves. We will talk about how to make anyone think about you 24/7, how to trigger addiction, and how to spot a liar in a second. If this sounds evil to you, good. That means you need to hear this the most. The weak call it evil. The strong call it a toolkit. Let's begin with trick number 1, the foundation of all obsession. Most people do not realize this, but your brain is lying to you about what love is. You think you fall in love with a person who treats you well? No. You fall in love with the person who gives you emotional instability.
Psychologists call this intermittent reinforcement. It is the exact same mechanism that keeps gamblers glued to slot machines in Las Vegas. If the machine gave a win every single time, the player would get bored. If it never gave a win, the player would leave. But if it gives a win unpredictably, the player will sell his house just to play one more time. Most people stop right here. They try to be stable, reliable, correct. And that is the biggest mistake. Stability is boring. Boredom is the death of passion. Psychology says people ignore you not because they are busy, but because you are too available. You are like an open book that was read on the first page and put on the shelf to collect dust. You give them a guaranteed win, your attention. And that is why your attention has no value. And here is what nobody wants to admit. You are addicted to this too. You chase those who push you away, and you ignore those who love you. This happens because your brain is a dopamine addict. When a person is hot, then cold, replies instantly, then disappears for a day, the dopamine levels in your brain spike. You start checking your phone every 5 minutes. You analyze every word. You invest your time and nerves into this person. And the more you invest, the harder it is to leave. Dark psychology teaches, become unpredictable. Don't be chaotic, be dosed. If this triggered you, good. That means you just realized why your ex had such power over you. If you want to break this cycle, or use it, start by dosing your presence. Sometimes be the sun. Sometimes be the cloud. Remove the guarantee of your availability. If you do everything for a person to make them like you, buying gifts, solving their problems, this harsh psychological fact will hurt. You are doing everything backwards. You are killing their interest.
This phenomenon is called the Benjamin Franklin effect. History says that Franklin won over an enemy not by doing him a favor, but by asking him for a favor. When you understand this, you will see why nice guys always lose. But here's where it gets worse. Your brain tries to rationalize your actions. When you do too much for someone, you subconsciously expect repayment. But when it doesn't come, you turn into a victim. Here is the painful truth. We do not value what is given to us. We value what we have invested our own effort into. A person who has invested nothing in you, no time, no money, no emotion, will leave you with ease. To them, you are a cheap asset. And this explains exactly why you can't forget the girl who treated you poorly for years. You invested too much of yourself into her. This happens because of cognitive dissonance. When a person does something for you, their brain must explain to itself why they did it. And it invents a reason. I must like him if I am helping him. Your mind thinks you need to give to receive love. But reality is different. You must make them give. Dark psychology says, ask for small favors. Let them invest in you. Let them spend time on you. Here is the truth you avoided looking in the eye. Your selfless help is actually an attempt to buy love. And it looks desperate. Here is a mental trick that actually works. Stop being the service staff. Become a project that people want to invest in. Ask for help. Create a situation where they must put in effort to be around you. Here is a psychological fact. The person who speaks less always controls the conversation. If you feel the need to fill every pause with words, you have already lost the negotiation before it began. Psychologists call this the power of the void. People hate silence. Silence creates tension. Silence makes the brain panic and seek approval. Your relationships, your habit of chattering, all of it is formed by the fear of seeming boring or awkward. Most people stop right here. They start making excuses, adding unnecessary details, revealing secrets, just to avoid the silence. And that is the biggest mistake. Here is the painful truth. When you talk too much, you don't seem smart. You seem insecure. You are looking for validation. A real predator in the jungle does not make unnecessary sounds. He observes. And here is what nobody wants to admit. You are afraid of silence because in the silence, you hear your own thoughts that you don't like. Your brain does this to protect you from social rejection. It is a herd instinct. But dark psychology uses silence as a tool. Ask a question, get an answer, and just stay silent. Look them in the eye. Don't nod, don't smile. Just wait. In that moment, the person across from you will start to get nervous. They will think their answer wasn't enough, and they will start telling the truth. They will reveal things they wanted to hide. If this triggered you, good. Remember how many times you said too much just because the other person was quiet? Now you know what they were doing. If you want to break this cycle, Start with a pause. Before answering, count to 3. Look in their eyes. Let this silence work for you. The one who is comfortable in the silence owns the room. Most people do not realize this, but your brain is easily tricked by the illusion of freedom. You think you are choosing, but actually, you are just choosing the cage you will sit in. Psychologists call this the double bind. It is a favorite tool of professional negotiators, hypnotists, and parents. When you understand this pattern, you will see how skillfully you are backed into a corner while being left with a smile on your face. But here is where it gets worse. We teach this even to children. Will you eat your soup now or after the cartoons? The option, do not eat soup, does not exist.
Psychology says people resist direct orders. If you say, do this, the person's ego will fight back. It will start defending itself. But if you give 2 options that both suit you, the ego relaxes. It thinks, oh, I am in charge. I am choosing. And this explains why your life hasn't changed. You choose between watching a series and playing a game, thinking this is rest. But both options lead to stagnation. You put yourself in a loser's double bind. This happens because the brain saves energy. Analyzing the situation globally is hard. Picking from 2 options is easy. Dark psychology teaches, never ask questions that can be answered with no. Instead of, will you go on a date with me? Ask, is it better for you to meet on Friday evening or Saturday afternoon? You skipped the consent stage and moved straight to logistics. You created a reality where the date is already a fact. Here is the truth you avoided looking in the eye. You constantly fall into this trap in stores, at work, in relationships. You are given a choice of collar color, not a choice of freedom. Here is a mental trick that actually works. Always look for the 3rd option. When you are given a choice of A or B, ask yourself, what if I choose neither? Break their script. If you think you know why people are drawn to you, you are wrong. The strongest magnet is not your kindness or your humor. It is the ability to show them their own darkness, but in an attractive package. Carl Jung called this the shadow. It is the sum of all hidden desires, fears, and vices that a person denies in themselves. And when you understand this, you will see why bad boys and femme fatales always win. But here is where it gets worse. Most people try to be liked by showing their light side. They are perfect, polite, correct. And it is boring. It is bland. Here is the painful truth. Your brain chooses the one who allows it to be a little bit bad. We are not looking for saints. We are looking for accomplices. We want someone who understands our forbidden thoughts, our aggression, our vanity, and does not judge us. And here is what nobody wants to admit. You fall in love with those who have the audacity to do what you forbid yourself from doing. This happens because the psyche craves wholeness. We project our shadow onto others. The highest level of dark psychology is subtle mirroring. If a person hides their arrogance, show them that you are a little arrogant too. If they hide their primal nature, hint at yours. Create a secret alliance against the moral world. Say, I see that you are not as simple as you seem. There is a demon in you. This is a compliment that hits deeper than, "You are beautiful." If this triggered you, good. You remembered a moment when you were drawn to someone dangerous. Now you understand why. They allowed your shadow to come out and play. If you want to break this cycle, start by accepting your shadow. And if you want to influence, stop being sterile and correct. Be a mirror in which they see their true, hidden nature. Now you hold 5 powerful keys: the casino effect, investment, silence, the illusion of choice, and the shadow. You can use this to defend yourself, or you can use this to get what you believe belongs to you. The choice is yours. But remember, once you start seeing this, you cannot unsee it. Your old world of naive illusions has burned down. You have woken up in a reality where psychology is a tool. Most people will turn off this video and forget everything tomorrow, returning to their role as a victim. Don't be the majority. Pick one trick. Test it today. Watch the result. If you are ready to go further down the rabbit hole, where we take reality apart atom by atom, subscribe to CanStillGo. We have only just begun.